from Los Angeles. It is almost 12 p.m. PST. Welcome to What's Your Story? I'm Jen Greenhut, and here we share stories. We share the ones that shake us up, that break us open, that teach us something, and we hope that everybody has a story to share that will offer tips and support to those going through challenging situations or just offering support and community, because we're all here together, learning, growing, evolving, and figuring it all out. So today's guest on What's Your Story is a doctor, Dr. Roy Vongtama. He's a board-certified radiation oncologist, trained at UCLA. He spent over 20 years exploring the connection between our emotional, spiritual, and physical health. He's also a meditation teacher and an actor, which gives him this rare ability to talk about healing in a way that's both scientific and deeply human. Roy, I'm going to come get you now.
How are you?
Hi, good. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Jen.
I'm so excited to dive in because we're all about science and spirituality and the connection between mind, body, spirit, and all of it. And we want to hear what you're doing, where you've come from, your aha moments that have taught you what you know. And I know you're an actor as well, so we're going to talk about all of it. But
That's great.
right now, are you at UCLA, or where are you at this present moment, right here, right
At this
now?
present moment, I'm actually at my house. This is
Okay.
my wife's Ayurveda practice, her herb stash back here. So I thought it would be fun to show that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it. I love it. I love it. So we have a lot of cancer survivors, a lot of patients, and just a lot of great human beings that are in this community looking to spread love and positivity and having gratitude for all of the challenges that we go through. So why has life brought you to this moment, and what would you say your mission is, and how can we learn from you?
yeah. That's a great question. So a little bit about me. My dad was an oncologist. So when I was young, I grew up in Buffalo. I used to go into his clinic when I was a boy, and I used to see these people being helped, but a lot of people um, still suffering a lot from cancer. And from a young age, I always wondered why more people weren't surviving and beating like you did their diagnosis. And it got to a point where even his partner, who in radiation or radiation oncology, which is what I do, in addition to lifestyle medicine. My dad's partner in that is a physicist, and the physicist got lung cancer and he died. And I watched him go through this process. And so that really impacted me. And so I just realized going through this from early childhood that I knew there was something missing from Western medicine, just Western medicine alone. And the answer over the decades has been that it's a combination of, the $3 trillion of research they put into cancer and also the 6,000 years of experience. It's putting everything together into one package. And so that's how I came up with the idea of a healing platform, which I call AntiCancerX, which is basically the X is you. So we all want to deal with this thing that we have in us, and it takes everything. It takes physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and putting it all together. And it's not just me saying that, it's the evidence saying that too. So that's where I come from. I'm taking the 10,000 hours of meditation I've done, the emotional work that I've trained through by doing my own therapy, my acting experience, to the research-driven stuff I've learned from going and doing research at Roswell Park Cancer Institute in Buffalo, through UCLA, through the University of Pennsylvania, where I trained as well, putting it all together into an evidence-based package so that everybody can access it where they are. And that's basically what my mission is, if you want to call it that. My mission is to get people to realize that that you have your own way, and
Mhm.
it can be guided through the evidence. And so you're doing things that work, not just things that you know, see on Instagram. I know you obviously you're seeing this on Instagram, but you know what I mean. If you're just seeing things, you're picking out that someone's very emotional about or gives a good pitch for, that's nice. But what we really need to know is, does it work? And has it been proven to work? And if it has, what is the evidence level for that? And that's more my mission. It's not just giving someone a platform to change, but it's actually an evidence-based platform. So if you put this into play, there's science behind it, and you will see results. And
Mhm.
I think that's so important.
And so when you see patients, are they coming to you because they have cancer at the moment, they don't have cancer now, or they're just looking to be like healthy as possible?
Yeah, so within radiation oncology, like at UCLA, they've already been diagnosed, and so that's actually how I started this, because after you get treatment, you're just coming for follow-ups to see if it came back, and
Yeah.
that to me seemed just ridiculous. So you're coming in to what? Look at your scan. I can look at your scans and send you an email. What are we doing in addition to that? And so that's how I started that. I'm like, hey, do you know that meditation can reduce your stress levels? And then I would teach them meditation in the follow-up. And I'd be like, how about this? Have you ever done this thing? It's called a body inventory to release your emotions. You have stuff that's backed up. And then nurses were like, what are you doing in there? It's really quiet, you know? And I'm like, oh, I did a meditation session. And so the nurse would be like, can I come in? I'm like, sure. And so that's how it started. And then um, from that side, I started doing the work kind of it just happened that way and started to grow. And then patients were like, you should write a book. I was like, okay. So I wrote a book called Healing Before You're Cured. It's available on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon, and it's been really helpful. But then I also realized that a lot of people are reading the book and not doing anything. So
Hmm.
then I was like, okay, well, let's take another step. Let's do workshop style, and that's what AntiCancerX is. So I work with an amazing lady named Julie De La Barre, who's a nutritionist, oncology nutritionist, and she's has a big background in exercise and personal training. So she's been a coach. So she's bringing that aspect, and we're doing recipes, we're doing meditations, we're doing all these things, and also teaching about the evidence. So that's the other side, is this coaching platform. And my goal is to actually, if you look at the research now, there's a lot of research being done in prehabbing prior to getting treated. So
Okay.
this is something interesting for your listeners, is that they found that if you bring your microbiome up in health by creating this huge biodiversity. For those who don't know, microbiome is the non-human parts of your system living in your gut. You have about 350 to 400 types of bacteria in your gut. Bringing those and making them as powerful, as strong as possible, and that creates a lot of your immune profile. So 80% of your immune system actually is in your gut, and it's not human. And so if you make that as powerful as possible, they found that these bacteria actually will help you get a higher pathologic CR from chemotherapy
Huh.
if
How do
they're
you,
yeah.
what kind of test is that? And what does it mean when you say not human?
Yeah, like bacteria, there's tons of other organisms living in your body. There's sometimes there's fungi, there's tons
Okay.
of bacteria, there's viruses, there's like small protozoas. Hopefully there's not parasites, but there's all these other things that are in there, which is something that I don't think most people know. They're on your skin, they're in your gut, they're all over the place. So making those as healthy as possible is a big factor in bringing people to speed.
Yeah.
Um, and that study just came out that I saw that the people who had the most diverse microbiomes, they had the highest response to chemotherapy.
Okay.
And they had the highest, it's called pathologic CR. If you give pre-op chemo prior to your surgery for breast cancer, for example, when they do the surgery, a pathologic CR means there's nothing left in the surgical specimen.
Hmm.
And a very diverse microbiome, and plus exercise, low stress, all that coming into the surgery actually predicts it actually can give you a better outcome. Um, And another groundbreaking study, they found that these bacteria actually leave the gut and go to the lymph nodes to help potentiate chemotherapy and then travel back.
Okay.
So it's like the stuff that we don't
Yeah.
even know that's happening. So it's just there's a lot we don't know. And now as I learn it and deliver it to people, through like meeting awesome people like you, then people start to realize like, look, this is really important, you know. Uh,
Well, what's the first thing to do if you want to check your microbiome in your gut? What kind of
okay.
test is it?
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies doing gut diversity testing. I there's several of them. I tend to I'm a very it's kind of weird, but I don't really like testing because I'll tell you how it's really easy to know if your microbiome's diverse. Are you
Yeah.
eating 30 fruits and vegetables a week? So
30
basically
different, 30
30
different,
just 30 servings.
or
If
just
you do
30
30
servings? Okay.
if you do 30 servings, you're guaranteed to have a very diverse microbiome. You don't need to do a test.
30
Now,
servings. Okay.
30 servings, so that's 5 to 6 a day. That's what we're looking for. That's actually American Cancer guidelines as well. So part of it is that these recommendations have been there. It's just that as physicians, we have not done a good job of saying, hey, are you eating 30 fruits and vegetables a week? And if
Mhm.
not, and so one thing Julie always says that I really like is just do 1% better. And that's what we've adopted. It's like, I saw a guy yesterday. They found actually, I actually do treat a lot of skin cancer, and for basal cell cancer, which is the most common type of skin cancer, they found that doing this kind of thing actually reduces the chance of you getting even skin cancer.
Oh,
So
wow.
I asked yesterday, this guy's like, "Oh, I do great." I'm like, "How's your diet?" He's like, "It's great." I was like, "Okay, what do you what do you eat?" And he was like, "Oh, I have at least 1 to 2, servings of vegetables a day." And I was like, "Well, actually, we want it to be like 5 or 6." And he was like, "Well, I can't do that." I'm like, "Can you do one more serving a day?" And he's like, "Yeah, I could do that." So that's kind of how I work. Is
Mhm.
like, look, we know what the goal is, but you know, as a person, I know the way to achieve change is by doing it in small increments.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's something that we've been working on a lot is like, how do people change? Why does someone decide to change?
Yeah.
And how do we support you in that?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great business to figure out. Just a delivery system, you know how they deliver food and menus and meals. Just get your delivery of 30 servings a week. And so you know exactly how much you have to eat that
Yeah,
week. You know,
yeah.
so
I
then you
mean,
don't have to like think about it or worry about it. It's just something that comes, you spread it out and you know.
and that's a really interesting idea because one thing I learned, the other board certification I have is called lifestyle medicine, and that's using, have you heard of lifestyle medicine, the field?
No, but I love the name. I love it.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Using your lifestyle as medicine, using diet, exercise, mental, emotional, spiritual, putting it all together. And this is it's an emerging field, but it's a very, very powerful science that's coming aboard. And
It
the
sounds a little like Ayurvedic medicine, a little bit
yeah,
similar.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
right. The Ayurvedic, exactly. That's exactly what my wife would be like, wow, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
she calls it Ayurveda, the original lifestyle medicine. Um, the only difference is they use a lot more herbs than what we would in lifestyle medicine. But what are herbs really? They're
Yeah.
vegetables.
Yeah.
So
Vegetable. Mhm.
and they're things that they're natural. They're there. So that totally fits with this practice. But this lifestyle medicine, when you look at it, it's really what we were just talking about. It's like when we talk about lifestyle medicine, we talk about prescriptions. It's like our prescriptions are 6 fruits and vegetables a day. That's what I'm prescribing for you, right? And we don't think of, Hippocrates said, let your medicine be your food and let your
Yeah.
food be your medicine.
Hmm.
Very, very, very simple quote, and a lot of people know it, but actually, we don't actually tell people that.
Yeah.
I've not been in with anybody I trained with that actually asked before myself, you know, are you eating fruits and vegetables? How much
Hmm.
are you eating? And I think that's a big thing that
Yeah.
I push for myself when I see patients one on one.
Well, I also like that it's not saying what not to eat, it's saying what to eat.
Yes.
So, it's a little different where it's not feeling like you have to restrict. I mean, you can still eat, a piece of cake if you want, or,
Right.
meat is great, just moderation. But just make sure you're adding this to your
Yeah.
diet. And
Exactly.
yeah.
There's some proponents of lifestyle medicine that are really pushing toward like fully plant-based
Hmm.
eating style. But if you look at the actual definition of lifestyle medicine, they say predominantly a plant-based diet, predominantly. If you're getting 30 servings of fruits and vegetables a week, it's predominantly plant-based. And so especially like I'm from Buffalo. I grew up
Hmm.
on roast beef on whack, pizza, chicken wings, I'm gonna have my chicken wings when I'm watching football. I'm sorry. Every game I'm watching, I'm doing it, That's just because it's an
Yeah.
emotional thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. If I
So,
take away meat from my husband, he won't listen to anything else I'm gonna say. Like let's just add some more fruit and veggies on his plate,
right.
with his meat.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's really what it is. Like the gentleman I saw yesterday, he's like, "Oh, I can add one more." And you know what that one more does though? Jen, it actually adds about 5% decrease in recurrence rate if you do that every day. So it's a big
Big deal.
number.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at 5%, people are like, oh, what's 5%? I'm like, that's the reason we give chemotherapy, right? That's the reason why chemotherapy is done in breast cancer for that
Hmm.
5%. That's all
Hmm.
it's doing. And now you're telling them like, okay, adding this extra serving of vegetables a day is giving you 5% lower recurrence rate. There's lots of studies on that. So
Yeah.
it's actually that powerful.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how little it's talked about from just oncology
Yes.
places and doctors because it's all Western medicine and
And
like
that
it's new
needs to change.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that needs to change. I mean, I love that you have me on and I patients always ask me, well, why has no one ever told me this? I'm like, I'll tell you why. It's because it's not reimbursed.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing money actually by talking to you about it. But that's not why I do what I do. But if right now medicine's not in a great place, primary care providers are being asked to see patients. And if you've gone to see one, when I have to see my primary care doctor, she's like, you can talk about one thing and you have 12 and a half minutes now. And I'm like, wow, okay. What, I don't remember
Yeah.
what I went in
Yeah.
for. And
Yeah.
so
It's hard.
you don't have that time. But I think that's such an important part of why I became a physician and why a lot of people have. And when you're really serving in that way and you start to see the data, then I think the system will change. And the reason it will change is because when you look at the people who are doing the 30 fruits and vegetables, 30 minutes of exercise a day, and meditating 7 minutes twice a day, that's actually the main protocol, really. If you do that, they make more money
Yeah,
because
well,
people
they're
don't get
they're
sick.
working. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, we are really a team. The patients, the better the patient, the better the medicine's going to work, the better
yeah,
the doctor will look, and
yeah.
vice versa. But when you bring up meditation, I'm like, ah, I don't do that because that's the hardest thing for me to do. And I've done it before. I do it when I have the time, but it's not something I have regularly put in my schedule. And it's something that I've always wanted to regularly put in my schedule. And it's also the hardest thing for me to sit still and be patient and breathe and understand just sitting still is okay. And let's talk about it because I have a
Okay,
really, yeah, I'm sure I'm not
okay.
like abnormal. I'm sure a lot of people
You're
hate meditation.
you're
It's
ninety
just not
percent.
fun.
You're 90% of everybody. What you just said. So I'll tell you what. Like I meditated this morning. I didn't get still at all. And I've been done 10,000 hours of it. So what is meditation? It's literally the effort. So I study a lot of monks and they say, did you put an effort in? I'm like, yeah, well, there's your victory. Did you try to sit there? I'm like, yeah. Like, did you try? And I was like, yeah, I did try. And then my mind went into like, oh, I'm supposed to be here and what am I going to have for breakfast? And he's like, yeah, but then you bring your mind back, right? I'm like, well, sometimes. Yeah, yeah. Then
Hmm.
victory. So really what I'm saying to you is like, yeah, it's just the effort of understanding and sitting and saying, okay, I'm gonna set my timer. So the data for decreasing anxiety in cancer is 90 minutes a week, which comes to about 7 minutes twice a day.
Okay.
Just it they don't ask you how well it goes. It doesn't matter how well it went. It's the
Okay.
fact because really what's happening is when you, Jen, when you're sitting there for that little amount of time, it's going to feel like a lot in the beginning. But if you sit there for a little bit, you're going to see how fast everything's really moving. And that's
Mm-hmm.
happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're becoming aware of. You're not failing at meditation. You're becoming aware of the restlessness that is inherent in living our Western lives, right? So that's actually what's happening. You're getting an awareness rather than a failure, right?
Yeah.
So
But like,
that's
what's the science behind why is that better? Just having that awareness that we're crazy. We're crazy people. Other than like, I was under the impression that it was the fact that I was breathing deeper, my cells were getting more oxygen, and that was why this is good for me. Do you
yeah.
understand what
Well,
I'm saying? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So there's that's a really good point. I mean, one thing I've learned through the years of meditation and the people I've learned from is that do not judge the outcome of your meditation. That kind of comes back to the first point because there's things that are happening outside of our consciousness all the time that are actually helping us and healing us, right? Like, you want to take this really deep? Let's do this. What's actually healing our bodies? Is it the chemotherapy? Is it the surgery? Is it the radiation? Is it the no? It's this life force in us that's actually healing. Like I just got this tiny surgery I had, like you can see on my head here.
Yeah.
So it's going to heal up. Is it
Mhm.
what's doing that? You know, really, when you look at it in the deepest way, it's that in yoga, which is a type of meditation I practice, they call it prana. That's that life force energy that's actually doing the work. And we're
Yeah.
just trying to get everything out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it that way, you know, that work is already being done, and we're just trying to get ourselves out of the way as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say to you is like, yeah, you may sometimes want to get that feeling that you get at the end of, like if you go to like yoga, like Western yoga, where you're doing the postures, that's actually called asana.
Yeah.
Um, Asana, if you're doing that at the end, you do sit for like a couple minutes or a minute and you feel that like, wow. Yeah, because you've been working through this whole asana practice to kind of normalize
Fire
all the
yourself up.
energy in your
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you relaxed yourself, so then you get that drop in. But there is a benefit to doing it even without that. You know, just sitting there. Actually, the deepest ones I usually get, and it's weird. I'll come back. I'm so tired after you know, if I'm at clinic or whatever, and right before dinner, I'll try to do a short meditation right there. That's the one. That's the one that I actually every day I feel like, whoa, I'm like in. The worst one is when I have the most energy in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, that's my experience. And then really late at night, I'm really good too. But then like for me, it's like, okay, so is that one before dinner better than the one in the morning? Is the one at night better than the one in the morning? You know, like it's not really so that's what I would say to anybody looking to do it.
Yeah.
Is that it's just finding the way that works for you. There's many styles. Julie likes mindfulness-based meditation. She's trained in insight meditation, which is kind of a Buddhist style. It's kind of an awareness. In
Mm-hmm.
science, they call it MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction.
Mm-hmm.
For people that don't like the word meditation because they come from a Christian background, sometimes my side is the yoga side, yogic meditation. That's more of a concentration based meditation. And so I learned that through Self Realization Fellowship, and they teach a couple techniques. And that's to concentrate your mind. So for
To slow
me,
it
my
down.
mind's, what's that?
Just to slow it down, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, to give you something to focus on.
Okay.
Like for me, I grew up, my family's Buddhist, and it didn't really work for me because my mind's constantly going everywhere all the time. So being aware that my mind's going everywhere all the time wasn't as powerful to me as you give me something like a mantra to focus on. And
Mm.
like that's one thought. rather than 1,000, right? So if I keep bringing my mind back to this technique, so for me, that's worked a lot better. But I've had both because I grew up as a Buddhist and then I switched over to yoga. But like how people ask me, well, where do you start? I'm like, well, we do a meditation in all our courses, and we teach different styles. That's one way to go to AntiCancerX and do it. Of course, there's Headspace, there's Calm,
Mm-hmm.
there's tons of people teaching on YouTube for free. There's many ways, so it's kind of like what works for you. Some people like chanting first and then going into silence. Some people like doing, yoga postures first and going into meditation. Some people just like sitting there and doing it. So what I would say to you is like, okay, let's experiment. Like after this, I'm going to send you a couple videos.
Okay.
I'm going
Yeah.
to send
I was
you
just going to
Jen.
say I'm super inspired to start meditating again.
Okay,
After
good.
this, yeah.
Well, let's do this. If people want a message after this, I can send a couple of our videos and you can try these 7-minute meditations and you have them there. They're on our YouTube channel and you can try them out and see which ones you like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the most important thing to do? Diet, meditation, there's no, it's all part
No,
of everything.
that's a great question because the most important thing for me is what are you interested in doing? Because
Mm.
that side of the diamond, it's all one
Yeah.
thing. We're looking to polish one side of the diamond, do the area you're strongest in, and really, really be good at that.
What are you called
Um,
to do first? I love
yes,
that. I really love that. And I know we've talked a little bit about my story through stage 4 cancer, but what you're saying as an action to do is kind of what I learned were part of the action of self-love and the action of choosing gratitude and the action of trusting that
yes,
life is unfolding the way it is. So those superpowers, which is what I learned, aren't put into practice until I hear what you're saying. And like just taking the time to meditate is an act of self-love, is
it
an act
is.
of prioritizing myself. It is an act that will help me find more gratitude, possibly,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And so I just love the parallel of what we're talking about.
And even more, like people who are like I'm hyper into efficiency because I'm doing so much stuff. And what I find when I meditate is that the things that I'm supposed to be doing, they're popping. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to do that. Things, your mind becomes clear and you start to get these. I don't always recommend it, but like for me, I always have a little like my notepad there. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like it's a little too much. I'll like write it down quickly, and I'll write it down quickly what it is. That way, I'll do it when I'm done with the meditation rather than getting up and doing it right there. I'll just okay, write it down. Like, yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
call that person.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and so
We have a lot
it,
of people that are very interested in hearing these meditations, so I'll definitely pass them on
sure,
to, yeah,
absolutely,
keep all these emails to reach out to.
yeah. Thank you.
I love
Um,
sharing your information. I really like my whole passion is just like getting healthy advice and just great advice out there as much as I can, as much as, humanly possible.
I love that you're doing it. When we first met at the Coleman Walk, I was like, okay, she really, you can feel that you have this passion and this drive to share this with people. And you have these amazing bags, by the way. So that was, I was like, wait, whose bags are these?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We're gonna get off this and we're gonna figure out how to collaborate bags and your whatever you're doing and maybe putting a
That'll be
little
great.
wellness kick together for, maybe October or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
Um,
But anyway, I cut you off because I was so excited. We were talking about just the parallel of self-love and gratitude and what you were
oh, yeah.
saying. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, on that note, gratitude is really a powerful thing. I think that people don't realize how easy it is to actually find that place. One thing I say for people to do is at the end of your day, I call it 5 stars a day. Just write down 5 things that you're grateful for. It could be that, you're able to walk, that you're able to breathe without shortness of breath. There's so many things, but when you write them down and then you re-experience that feeling, even like I saw a hummingbird earlier. I was like, oh wow. Your body doesn't know the difference between the original event and the event you remember.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of double dosing in this endorphin hit for your body by remembering these things that you're grateful for at the end of your day. And what a way to go to sleep, right? Rather than thinking, oh God, look at the government,
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
you look at.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is look at your phone, the worst thing you
Well,
can do.
the worst thing you can do, yes, is also turn on the news. I've found that that's horrible medicine
It's
and bad for the immune system and
it's
just causing stress and bad thoughts. And I love what you say about heart and mind is also part of the immune system. And we have to be so aware of what we're putting into our mind and what we're, thinking about
I'll
and
I'll
what,
tell you.
yeah, yeah,
And
tell me.
this is not like a new age, it's a new age thing, but it's new age backed by science. So they just showed a study where people who are in artificial environments like artificial light, phone, computer right before bed, they have a higher rate of inflammation in the brain.
Oh, wow.
So you're actually creating the situation that may give you dementia in the future. So people listening, that's the last thing you need to be doing is dosing yourself with artificial light through your phone. And that's the blue light, all these different kinds of light. It doesn't matter what it is, but the fact is it's not good for you. It's proven not good for you. So it's super important, not just from and intuitively you know not to do it, but then
Yeah.
you hear it from like me, you're like, okay, it's causing inflammation. I have stroke in my family. I have dementia in my family. I have cancer in my family. All these things are inflammation related. We're trying to decrease this amount of inflammation in our bodies, which is the driver of
Yeah.
all diseases, metabolic, really.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you for that tip. Thank you for all of your tips. I know you probably have to go soon. You're a very busy guy. But let's recap on everything that you're doing because I want everybody to know where to find you. And
perfect.
yeah, let's do that.
Thank you.
Sure.
So our platform's called AntiCancerX, and you can find it at anticancerx.com. We're on Instagram, AntiCancerX. We're on YouTube. We just started a YouTube channel. We have courses. We have 6-session courses that are live and also on demand, and they're edited. So we have 2 courses available right now. We have a inflammation course, which is talking about the causes of inflammation, the microbiome, and how you use that power to help your system. We have a second course called Detox Defense, which is looking to remove things out of your system that are actually causing that increased risk of cancer. So that's our 2 courses right now that are available on demand. We also have, we also do coaching privately, and also we do all that. So if people want to access the course that way, and I have my book, Healing Before You're Cured, you can get that on Amazon, or you can get that at Barnes and Noble. It's actually going to be at if you're in LA, it's going to be now my favorite restaurant, Follow Your Heart, which is the kind of the original
Where's that?
you know where that is? It's in Canoga
No, what?
Park up in the valley. But they have a book section in there, and it's got all these amazing books. And so they've just accepted my book there. So I just delivered the books and
Oh,
had a mirror
awesome.
there.
I've never heard of
Um,
that place. I'm gonna go
you
check
never
it out.
heard? If you go
No.
to Whole Foods and look in the salad dressing, the refrigerated salad dressing section, you'll see Follow Your Heart now.
Okay.
That's the brand. It's from LA. It's actually a great restaurant. They have a shop there. This is a promo for Follow Your Heart now.
And this is
But
on Ventura Boulevard. Follow your
it's
heart.
actually on Sherman Way in Canoga Park, Sherman
Okay.
Way and Owensmouth, so kind of Topanga and Sherman Way. But it's like a destination. They have an amazing menu. It's all plant-based, but it's really good. And I'm proud to have the book there. And yeah, so that's anticancerx.com. You can look there. I'm a
I
Dr.
love the
Roy V as well
name.
here.
Yes, and you're an actor. Do you want to say one thing or two things? I know you're
Oh,
probably like a very popular person.
yeah.
But
No, I've
what
been
came
acting.
first, acting or medicine
That's a good
or
question. It's a good question. So we'll delve in that just quickly. So my
yeah.
dad told me you can do anything you want after you become a doctor. I was like, oh. Okay. So doctoring came first, and then I said, okay, here's your diploma. Let me go. Let me do this creative thing. And so I that's why I came to UCLA. The chairman asked me, he goes, why do you want to come to UCLA? We're good, but your resume, you could be at MD Anderson. You have an interview there, I know, next week. I said, yeah. And he said, why do you want to come to UCLA? And I said, do you want to know the truth? He's like, sure. I said, well, I want to be an actor. And he just looked at me like this. I was like, oh, shoot. He goes, I wanted to be an actor. He said, my parents wouldn't let me. He goes, if you come here, I can protect you. You can do all your research for medicine and do your residency and do your acting. Come
Oh,
here. And so that was kind of a sign, to me that this is where I needed to be. And so I've been doing both, and people say you can't do both. I've been doing both for 25 years now. So, yeah, I have a few films that just came out. One's called Stan the Man. It's on Amazon Prime for free. It's like a redemption story of a football coach, alcoholic football coach. I play his lawyer in that. I have another one where I play a detective. It's called Quinceañera Killer. It's kind of a Lifetime movie. Even the director said that. So, but that's if you like that kind of stuff, I'm in that. And then I have another one called Stay Forte, which is totally different. I play a Thai hostage from October 7th, the invasion of Hamas in Israel. So that is
wow.
coming out. It's hitting festivals now. So
Okay.
those are my three
What was the
projects.
name of that one?
Stay
Stay.
Forte. Stay Forte, like stay strong in Italian.
Okay.
Stay
Okay.
Forte. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds intense. I can't wait to
It's
check it out.
I just saw it. I just saw it has like an award screening thing that it's
Mhm.
really good. So
Mhm. Well,
um,
side note on me, I came out here as well for acting.
I
Uh,
know.
but what I loved acting, I hated the business, and it was so not helpful in my journey through self-love because when I was working, I felt so good. When I wasn't working, I felt so rejected. And I was also a gymnast and an ex-athlete and super hard on
Oh
myself.
gosh.
So it
Yeah.
just was like, you are a loser when you're not working. So I couldn't
Yeah.
handle that rejection part. So for
I
my own healthy, well-being, I
I
stopped.
empathize. I empathize with that. I mean, it's a tough business. I don't think I could do it without the medicine, actually.
Yeah.
Ironically, my dad's advice, well, not his advice, his dictum of being a doctor first has kind of allowed me to keep going because it is a very tough business. I'm only booking like 2% of the jobs I audition for.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I
it's
think
very
the
difficult.
secret, like you have, is like you have so much passion for so many things. So
Yeah.
when you're
Thank you.
doing that, it's another passion. It's not the passion. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. And I think if I ever went back to it, I would be definitely a healthier attitude about it. What I loved the most was this class I took, comedy class, where it was like a stand-up comedian, but I learned how to share my story in a funny way. And
Hmm.
that filled my soul so much. So I'm definitely going back to another comedy class next
That's
year.
amazing.
It was
Have
so
you
much fun.
have you heard of that podcast, The Moth? Have you heard of that Moth?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know it very well.
Yeah, it's people getting up on stage sharing their story in front of an audience. You should check it out. You'd
Oh, I'll
like it.
definitely check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool.
No, I
You'd
was
really,
very aware of, wow, this feels so good. I love this. So,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because you said that, that's why I thought of it. It's a
yeah.
really cool series.
Okay, no, I'll definitely check it out. Well, this was awesome, really, and I'm excited to get your meditation videos and keep chatting because I feel like
Yeah.
I would love you to do this delivery service too for 30 servings of fruit and
That's
veggies because I know I would be taking it. So I would
that's
be
a great
looking.
idea. Yeah, I mean, you ever heard of Blue Zones?
Yes.
Blue Zones is doing a plant-based kind of like low cost single meal option thing that I like some of their entrees and I think they're launching into Whole Foods and different stores now. But price point's pretty good per meal. It's like $5 or $6, so it's actually
That's
pretty
really good.
reasonable, and
About
it's
what I spent on my
plant-based.
dog. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was
it's
saying.
great.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is not too, and the portions are correct, and the food is, it's super. There's no ultra processed food. There's no preservatives. It's really clean. It's complete protein, and the vegetables are there. So it's a really
Right.
easy way to get into that if you're looking to do it that way too.
Okay. Yeah. I will look into that as well. Well, I'll just say to be continued. I hate saying goodbye, but to be continued. And thank you so
Yeah,
much for
well, this
coming
is the
on.
beginning, I think. Yeah,
And happy holidays.
same to
And
you.
we'll be talking to you soon.
Same to you.
Okay.
Have a great holiday.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jen.
See you later. Bye.
Bye bye.